What's up guys, Caleb here with DSLR Video Shooter, and today we're going to be looking at the Bolt Torch LED panel from Switronix. Now this is the updated version, so we're going to be talking about that as well as a comparison kind of between that and the old one. So the new one is the Torch LED Bolt 220 and the old one was the Torch LED Bolt 200. Now, they've updated a couple things. At first glance, you're really not going to see a major difference. Maybe the most visual difference is the front material right in front of the LED actual diodes. Looks a little different and has a different texture on it, but the actual body hasn't changed that much. Now, if you look on the back of the unit, you'll see two dials just like the old one, but the difference is on the old one, you had one dial for daylight, one dial for tungsten, and you would kind of adjust those and mix and match them. The new light has one dial for all temperature control and then another dial for brightness. So this is a little different, and it's actually a lot nicer because before you kind of had to play with the two till it just looked right. Now in this one you actually have a readout, so if you want exactly 38 Kelvin, 3800, you can go ahead and switch that over without having to just play with both of the dials to get it right. And then from there you have control over brightness. And I really like the way they've done the new one because I found often on the old one I would have to play with it and then I'd get the color temperature correct, but then I'd realize it's too bright. So I have to keep playing with them to go to a darker setting but still have the color correction, the color temperature correct. So that's really nice. They've added that. It's also much brighter. So I'm going to be, because I can't remember things, put the readings below the screen here. But it's around 1,000 lux difference when you have both turned all the way up. So if you're mixing perfectly right in the middle between daylight and tungsten, which is around 4,100 Kelvin, you're going to have the maximum output, and that's going to be around 8,030, I believe, lux on the new one, and then about 1,000 less on the old one. And then between 5,600 Kelvin and 3,200 Kelvin, you're going to see another difference in maximum output. But the newer light is brighter than the old one. Something else they improved on the new panel is the front little filter tray holder. On the old one, it never held that little diffusion filter. It was constantly falling out, and I've eventually lost it because it just would never stay in the light. On the new one, they've improved the design so it stays in there, and it's still easy to remove the entire filter housing off of the LED panel. So now I'm going to actually walk over and start playing with these lights and kind of show you how easy it is to dial things in. My setup right now, just to show you how flexible these lights are, I have huge windows right here, and that's kind of creating my key light. And then behind me, I have a single light stand and both the LED panels on friction arms so I can control where they're pointing. So I have one facing me right, from an angle and to the side and rear, and that is acting kind of as a kicker and a rim light, just separating me a little bit from my background. It's also nice for, hold on one second, if I'm holding something, you'll notice that there will be kind of a rim light on the object, which is great for gear reviews because cameras and lots of other black and gray objects can kind of get lost either in my shirt or on the background. So it's nice to have something back here to kind of create a little bit of a rim light, especially on larger things like DSLRs. I have windows here, but if I black these out or I was in a room without any daylight spilling in, what I'll do is I'll switch the one light to daylight from my background, and then the other light I'll set up for a key light, and I'll put that on tungsten, and then I'll set my camera to tungsten. And what this does is it gives me a tungsten key, and then the background looks blue. That's what's so cool about having these bicolor lights, is you can switch them, you can mix and match, you can do all kinds of really cool stuff. Obviously, price is going to be another big difference between these two because the newer one has some other features and the old one has been out for a little while. So the old one retailed at the beginning at, I believe, $380 roughly. So the new one has launched at that price, although right now B&H has a deal, so you can pick that up for actually $280. and the old one you can pick up right now for $260. And I know right away some of you are going to be saying, Caleb, I can go on eBay and buy, you know, an LED panel with similar light output for, you know, $50 or so. And that is the case, but those are going to have a very, very cheap housing. And you're also going to run into some color issues. That's the one thing that's awesome about these lights. I've been using the Torch LED panel for over a year now, and I swear by that thing. It's the perfect rim light. And I have not run into any color issues, and you can dial it in to match any situation, whether that be daylight, you know, indoor tungsten, or if you need to mix. They're perfect. They're really the Swiss Army knife of LED lighting, and I really, really like them. So I think they're totally worth the cost. You're getting a quality product. It's not some cheap, crappy, you know, LED panel that you could find on eBay for really cheap. You don't have to deal with the stupid color filters, none of that garbage. It's just a straight up, awesome, well thought out LED panel. You can check out more gear, reviews, and tutorials on DSLRvideoshooter.com. Stay tuned for more stuff right here.